I'm Olivia. Thanks so much for checking out my video. Today I'm going to be showing you one look each with the three kind of OG ABH palettes. So we have the Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, and Norvina. This will be one of the looks you see in the video, but I just want to do a quick intro. This is kind of the first video that I'm filming in this series. I've just been trying to think of ways to incorporate more basic or boring palettes, if you will, onto my channel. But in a way that might still be interesting, at least interesting to me. And I feel like this type of video would be a good way to do that. And it will kind of help me film and again produce content on a more regular basis if I could include more like basic everyday looks for work. So that's kind of the plan for this series. Again, I'm probably going to focus on maybe more boring palettes or maybe palettes that aren't necessarily boring, but I might just not have like the time or energy or inspiration to do several looks. I feel like the series will be kind of perfect for that. So anyway, I hope you do enjoy it. I hope it's still interesting to you. But yeah, anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. I hope that made sense. I'm going to start off the series again with these three palettes from ABH. I feel like these were all like really cult classics back in the day, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that still might have these around. And to be honest, if there's not a lot of people that still have these, I still wanted to show them some love anyway because I know it's been a while for me and I do really enjoy these palettes. So yeah, that's going to be my little rant for the intro. Again, I'm really excited to try this series out. I hope you enjoyed as well. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any feedback or anything you might be interested in seeing or not interested in seeing. I'd love to hear from you down below, and let's just get into the looks. All right, welcome to the first look of this series. If I sound and look sick and tired, thank you for noticing. It's because I am. But I still have to get ready for work, and I'm also really excited to start this little series, so I thought I'd film it anyway. So for today, I decided I was going to use the ABH and Norvina palette. Honestly, I'm planning to do a pretty simple, like quick and easy look today. I am going to work. I also held off on filming, hoping that my voice would improve throughout the morning as I woke up, but it's done the opposite. I sound worse. If you did want more of like a look with this palette, I do have another video using this palette on my channel already, and that one is like a little more like grungy, smoky, so you can check that out if you wanted a little more inspiration. I'll just get right into it. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Eden Primer Potion from Urban Decay. Okay, so for today, I think honestly I just kind of want to put the shade Soul all over the lid, and just kind of have that be pretty much the look, and then I'll probably go in the inner corner with one of these shades. If it's looking a little too colorful for like what I'm feeling for work today, I might try to tone it down by mixing in some of Volatile, but we'll see. I'll start with Soul for now. I am really excited to start this series. I'm kind of hoping to like utilize the series to really focus on like, I guess more like boring or like neutral everyday palettes. I'm obviously wanting to post a little more consistently, so I'm hoping this series will be kind of a good way to incorporate, I guess, more looks on the channel. Again, it's probably going to be more like boring everyday or like approachable looks because it's often going to be me getting ready for work or like running errands or something. But yeah, I am hoping this series is a good way to just get a few more looks up on the channel and give you a little bit more inspiration with older, maybe more basic or boring palettes like this. I'm very excited to kind of see how it goes. I think videos with like multiple looks are definitely going to be a little more work, especially since I'm a newer YouTuber and editing still takes me quite a while. But again, like I'm getting ready for work every day anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping this series is something that I can kind of easily accommodate in my schedule. And I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be fun. So I do want to blend this out a little bit with more of like a neutral just to tone it down. So I might mix Volatile and Base just so it's not too dark either. Oh wow, that's a pigmented shade. Yeah, I feel like that might have been too much. It looks a little dark, but I'll try to fix it. I'm going to try and blend it out a little bit more with just Base, and hopefully that lightens it up a little bit. And then I'm just going back in with Soul just to re-intensify it and make it look a little less patchy. I was debating leaving the lower lash line blank, but I feel like I'm gonna feel a little naked if I do that. So I might start with Volatile just a little bit on the lower lash line. And then if I don't like how that looks, I might top it off with a little bit of Soul so it matches. And I really like how that looks, so I might actually just line the top edge here too with that shade. I don't think that made much of a difference, but that's okay. So I'm going to blend that out a little bit with the brush that I was using for the shade Soul. I'm just not going to put any extra product on it, just because I don't think I want that color to take over completely. I kind of like how it looks with mostly the shade Volatile. All right, so now I'm going to go in with base in the inner corner. And I'm bringing it in a little bit just because I feel like I got some like weird patchiness there. I just want to brighten up that area a bit. So I am going to top it with just a little bit of Dreamer because I do kind of like how it is, but I just want a little shimmer there. And I'm going to put base in the, well, right here. I'm putting base right here. All right, so that's pretty much the look. I'm going to go finish up with mascara and probably just like a gloss or a balm on my lips. And I'll be back to show you the final look. All right, so this is the finished look. Obviously I just went in with mascara and then I kept it pretty low maintenance for the lips because I didn't really care. So I was already wearing the Summer Fridays lip balm in Pink Sugar, and I just kind of went over it and tapped on a little bit of this lipstick from the Michaela and Glam Light collection. There's no like shade names on the packaging, but I think there was two in the collection. One was like super nude and then one was not super nude, which is this one. So that's what I'm wearing on the lips. And then I just went in with a white eye pencil from NYX, just in like the very inner part of my waterline to make it look like I slept. But yeah, that's going to be it for this look. I feel like it turned out pretty cute. It kind of matches my shirt, which is what I was going for. Super simple and easy to do. I hope you also like it, and I'll see you in just a second for look number 2. Hi, welcome to look number 2 or 3. I'm not really sure what order everything is going up in, but I'm just getting ready to go out with some friends. We're having a little girls' night, and I'm going to use the Soft Glam today. I'm preparing for a late night, which means we'll be out past 8:30, so I'm having a quickie little 5 p.m. coffee here. Shout out to Bradley's favorite dinosaur mug. The dinosaurs are supposed to come back to life when you pour hot liquid in the mug, but it's pretty old and he doesn't really want to fully come back yet. This guy he's seen some things. But that's the drink for today. So yeah, let's just get into the look. Obviously my base is already finished except for my blush. I'll pick that after, and then I'm kind of feeling like a colorful highlight. I already added some today, but I might add a little bit more because I kind of want like a pinky highlight. That's what I'm feeling today. If you happen to be wondering, I am wearing the Natasha Denona. I don't think it's the Super Glow. It's just the glow. Just the Natasha Denona glow. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. I just want a little color, I think. But anyway, as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a look with the Soft Glam today. I do want something like a little bit smoky, but still like kind of basic at the same time. I know I want a little bit of like a wing shape, but I want it to be like small and contained, if that makes sense. We'll see. Also, excuse my still damp hair. I didn't really have time to let it fully dry before I started filming because I do have to leave relatively soon. I'm not 100% sure what our plans are for tonight. I feel like we're just gonna get together and like maybe wing it. I don't know. So I'm wearing this like kind of cute tank top for now. I don't really know if it's gonna be the vibe, but I brought some options. I just kind of picked this one for now. I might pair it with like a cute little jean jacket. I don't know. It's March. I don't really know if like a jean jacket is like a March thing. I don't know. I know nothing about fashion or trends, but for some reason I feel a bit rebellious wearing a jean jacket in March. But anyway, that's my plan for today. And I feel like a basic, like somewhat smoky eye kind of goes with anything. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm debating between orange soda and burnt orange in the crease. I feel like I've been kind of into like the peachy tones lately, so I think I might try orange soda, and I'm just gonna put that all over. I'm still kind of fighting this sickness, but I feel like I don't sound quite as scary as I did in my last video, which was the first look. I do feel better, although I do still kind of feel like I could use a solid like 15-hour coma, and then I'd probably feel more like myself. But we're pushing through today. We're doing it for the girls' night. I was really kind of debating between like the more like neutral tones in this palette and the warm tones, but I feel like since I started with orange soda, I'm probably going to go in with sienna, and I'm going to deepen the crease a little bit more and also start to build up the outer corner with that shade. I feel like I might have overblended this and like you can't see that first shade at all. And I might have brought it out a little too far. I really wanted it to be contained, but I think it's okay. Just taking that sienna shade and just dragging it on the lower lash line. I think I will build up the outer corner with the shade Mulberry, and then I might mix in a little bit of the shade Noir if I want to add the black, but I'm going to see how Mulberry looks first. I do not want this to take over. I just want some depth. Olivia. Kind of like that, but I want to bring it to the crease. But I don't want to bring it to the crease because then it's going to be too dark. But I might just do like a little bit, just for a little bit of definition. I feel like this is kind of what I wanted. I never take the stickers off the mirrors. Should we try again? The last one was kind of a fail on my channel, but I don't know how to make it satisfying. Maybe try this. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go back in with the shade Mulberry on the other side now. I think that's good. I feel like I might have added a little extra on the side. So I think this was the brush I was using before. I'm just gonna try and blend it out a little bit using that brush with no extra product on it. Hopefully it just softens it. I might take just a little bit more of that Mulberry shade with just a hint of Noir. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner too, and I'm really going to try not blend it too far out at all. I just want to deepen up that outer corner. Realistically, like, no one's going to notice if one side is like darker than the other or one side's more blended. Like, if anyone is standing that close to you, like, what happened to social distancing? Oops, I blended it out too much. Ooh, I didn't want that. I always get carried away. I'm adding more of that Mulberry shade just so I can blend out the black, and I am going to bring it into the crease a little bit, even though I said I didn't want to do that. Because it's blending out the black really nicely, and I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's looking pretty bomb. If I do say so myself. I don't know, sometimes I don't want the drama, or I'm not looking for the drama, but the drama just finds me. I like that a lot. I feel like it's pretty. I'm gonna go back in with the first shade Orange Soda just to blend out the front mostly and to add that peachy shade back in, just because I'm really, as I said, kind of into those peachy tones lately. I don't know if it's like spring or if I just haven't used them in a while and I'm noticing that they're really flattering, but I've just been really into them lately. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to leave this as like a matte look because I do love an all matte look, but I think I'll use one of the shimmers. I feel like I should probably go in with Sultry just on the outer part of the lid to blend in whatever light shimmer I'm going to use with the outer corner. So I might go in with either Glistening or Fairy. Let me swatch them out. They look like the same. It's the same color. Neither of these are really that like sparkly or metallic. They're pretty satin actually, but this one is Glistening and then this one is Fairy. So they're basically the same shade. I think I might do the shade Glistening. They're gonna look identical on the eyes if I'm being realistic, but since I saw a difference, I picked this one. So I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. And I'll probably go back in with that peachy matte afterwards just to blend this out. And then I'm just going to go in with just a tiny bit of Sultry. Maybe just a tiny bit more. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Ooh, that's too much. So now I'm gonna go back with glistening. I feel like that's pretty. That's looking nice. I'm gonna go back into the shade Mulberry and put a little bit of that on the lower lash line. I'm not doing a lot. I just want a little bit of definition just so the depth is kind of the same in the top and the bottom. Alrighty, I like that. I'm just debating between doing that shimmery shade Glistening or Orange Soda just in the front of the lower lash line. I feel like Glistening would be really pretty, but I'm feeling the peach today, and I feel like that'll be a nice little pop. I think that's really pretty. All right, I really like how this looks. I feel like we're pretty much done. I'm just going to go with the obvious choice for the inner corner and use Tempera. And I'm just going to pack that on the inner corner just to really brighten it up. I'm going to put just a little bit underneath my brow bone to brighten up that area as well. Alright, so I think that's going to be pretty much it for this look. I'm going to go finish up with some mascara. I'll probably do a small set of lashes, something on my lips, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so this is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. I obviously went with kind of like a brownie nude lip. I love a brownie nude lip. It always gets me, always puts me in a good mood, always makes me feel like that bitch. So I'm feeling really good in this look. Speaking of the lip combo, my lip liner is from Melt and it's in the shade Cinnamon. And then for my lipstick, I went in with the shade Nubian Sand from Juvia's Place. And this is one of the ones from the Earth Collection, I believe it's called. To finish off with the eyes, I went in with this bronzy eye pencil. It was just this nice pretty bronze shade. I didn't want anything too harsh today. Again, I was kind of going for a lighter look or a soft glam, if you will. I'm sorry. And then for the lashes, I used the Ardell Naked Lashes, and I think this is a style 424. And I thought I would share my fragrance of the day since I'm actually wearing one. I have this little sample from Azzaro. Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard of that brand. I'm very uninvolved in like the sphere or realm of fragrance. I have no idea what's going on in the fragrance community. But this is the scent Wanted Girl. It's my little sample. And it smells really sexy. I feel really fierce today. I'm liking the look, the scent. The outfit still has to be figured out, but the top is cute. Oh, I forgot my blush. I forgot to put a blush on. That would have been a disaster. I would have had to go home. What about this one? I might go on with this one because it was the closest to me. I might have another one here too. So these ones were really close to me right on my desk here. So we're gonna go in with one of these blushes today. This one's from Becca, and then this one was absolutely from Ipsy. Sugar, from the brand Sugar. I think I'll do this one because I feel like that very slight peachy pink hue will go with my look. Who do I think I am trying to leave the house without blush? Come on now. Do a little bit on the nose. All right, crisis averted. This was the shade Peach Peak from the brand Sugar. So that's what I used. Let me just give you a little close up. It is very basic, but I feel like it's very pretty. I opted not to add extra highlight. I know I was really feeling like maybe a pinky highlight. I just felt like it would have been a little much because I did go in a little heavy with this Natasha Denona one. I almost feel like I should have just waited for the end to do the highlight, but who knows, maybe I would have forgotten the highlight just like the blush. But yeah, this is the final look. I'm gonna see if I can maybe fix the hair and then put some pants on that aren't pajama bottoms. But yeah, I'm really excited to wear this out, and I'm excited to have some wine and cause some trouble. And I think this is where I'm gonna wrap up the video. Hello, welcome to my look using the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. This is going to be the last look in this little series that I'm filming before the video is ready to go. Honestly, it's been like weeks since I filmed the other two videos. I'm pretty sure I was sick when I filmed those as well, but it's been a while. I did have every intention of filming with this palette much earlier and just doing like a quick work look since that was kind of the intention of the series. But truthfully, it's been a really long time since I dipped into the Modern Renaissance palette, so I really didn't want to just dip into like one or two shades and then have to put it away. I really wanted to like I wanted to give her with this palette. I wanted to do something a little bit smoky. So yeah, I held off on doing a simpler look earlier just because I really wanted to play around a little bit more with this palette. So here we are. I really hope I'm not blinding anybody with my shiny forehead. I know like a lot of the times in videos it's an issue when people show reflective packaging, but I feel like I could do more damage with this. It's fine. It's just I am who I am. So yeah, I'm gonna prime my eyes and then we'll get into the look using the Modern Renaissance palette. So none of my brushes are clean, so we're off to a really good start. But anyway, I think I'm gonna start with the shade Tempera just underneath the brow bone, just to brighten that area up before we go in with any crease shades. So I want this to be a warmer look. I think my plan is to do something a little blown out, but still maybe incorporate a bit of a halo effect. So I definitely want to use Realgar and Cypress Umber for the halo part. I'm just debating for the crease if I should use Golden Ochre or Burnt Orange. I'm not really sure yet. I think I'll use a little bit of both. So I'm going to go in with Golden Ochre first. And I'm just putting that kind of all over the crease. And I'm going to bring it out a little bit because like I said, I want this look to be a little bit blown out. So I'm going to bring it out basically to like the brow bone and a little bit past it. And then I'm going in with Burnt Orange just underneath where we put that Golden Ochre shade. So now I'm going to go in with Realgar and I'm going to put that on the inner and outer corner, but I'm going to continue to kind of blow out the shape a little bit. So I do have some bad news. Today I made the executive decision to eat something unhealthy for dinner and I ordered a pizza. And you know what? It really wasn't that good. And it's very disappointing. I try to eat healthy dinners throughout the week. Today's Wednesday, so today was just an off day and I decided to treat myself to a pizza. I think my mistake was getting extra cheese because it wasn't a thick pizza. It was from like an Italian restaurant, so it was like a thin pizza. And I don't know, I think the extra cheese and the sun-dried tomatoes, I think it was just a little too rich. And I don't know, it just wasn't it. I feel like that was a big L today. We took the L. I'm just taking that shade on the lower lash line too, but I'm still leaving that center part bare right now. And I'm just blending that out using one of the first brushes I used. And I don't mind as much if I go over like the center part as I'm blending it out. I obviously just didn't want like a lot of pigment there because I wanted the halo effect. But again, as I'm blending, it doesn't really matter quite as much. So now I'm just taking the Cypress Umber shade on a smaller brush. And I'm going to intensify the halo effect just by placing that again in the inner and outer corners. And I'm going to blend this out as well, just obviously not quite as far out as the orange. I'm going to do a little bit on the lower lash line too. That was a lot, I feel like. Oops. And just a touch on the inner part. I feel like I'm breathing really loudly today. All right, I feel like it's looking pretty sexy so far. I think we're almost done. I think I'm just gonna add a shimmer in the little spotlight or the center area. Although I do think it'd be actually really pretty if we just used like Tempera in the center, just because it's like a satiny shade. I feel like it would have a really softening effect, if that makes sense. It might not, but I also feel like Primavera is also a bit of a neglected shade in this palette, so I might just stick with that. You know what? I think I'm gonna do one on each eye just to see, because I always feel like I'm tempted to do like an all matte. I feel like it would look super cool, and then I never do because I feel bad about neglecting shimmers. So let's just put it to the test. I'm gonna do Tempera on this side and then Primavera on this side, and then I'll just mix them together after so that they match. We'll just do a fun little experiment that nobody asked for. All right, so I'm just going in with Tempera. And then I'm just gonna take, I think this was the brush I used with Realgar. I might put just a touch more of that shade on, and then I'm gonna try and blend this out. I just don't want to take away from that center shade too much, so I'm trying to keep Realgar on the outsides. I think I really like that. Something about an all matte look, I just feel like it always looks really flattering. It always looks really nice on the lids. Like I said, I just always feel like I end up like neglecting shimmers though, so I always feel tempted to use them anyway. But yeah, so on this side, I'm gonna go in with Primavera, and I'm gonna use my pinky first, and I might use a brush afterwards just to blend it out. And then just like on the other side, I'm gonna go back in with just a little bit of Realgar, and I'm gonna put that, again, mostly on the outsides. The outsides of the inside, if that makes sense. I might not have like centered these very well. Like this one I feel like is just kind of running off to the side. So I'll try to bring a little bit more of the shimmer shade in the center. Yeah, I think I messed up the centering of the spotlight, but it's fine. As I said, I'm pretty much gonna like take this off right after the video anyway. But I do want to bring the shimmer down a little bit. Alright, so before I mix the satin and the shimmer so that the lids match, these are kind of like the finished looks. This would pretty much be the look with just the like all matte version. Oh, hold on. I just need to finish off with a little bit of brightness here. And crisis averted. Alright, so yeah, this is kind of like the all matte version, and then this is the one with a little bit of shimmer. Mind you, the shimmer shades from these palettes are very outdated. They're pretty lackluster, but I still wanted to compare how it would feel with a matte versus a shimmer. I'd love to know what you think. Do you have a preference for either of them? I feel like it'd be easier to tell if I had like the mascara finish, because I feel like it looks a little bit scary without anything on my lashes right now. But I want to like mix them together before I do that. But I don't know, I feel like the one with the shimmer definitely looks a little bit more diffused. I don't know, I feel like I stand by what I said. I feel like an all matte look can be understated, or depending on how you do it and how much contrast you put in the look, it could be kind of like unexpected at the same time. I really do like it. I don't know if I have a super strong preference though. I feel like both of them are pretty and it's not really like that much of a difference. But I digress. I'm just gonna mix them together now so that they match, and then I'll put on some mascara. So I think that's pretty much going to be the look. I'm going to finish it up with some mascara, something on my waterline, something on my lips, and then I'll be back to show you the final look. All right, I have returned in my final form. I will say I feel a lot sexier now than I did about 2 seconds ago from when you saw me. I feel like the mascara really makes a difference, and I need to just say I'm pretty sure it's illegal for me to have like one of the best lash days of my life after work, before I'm gonna shower. I'm sure the camera won't actually do them justice, but I feel like they look really long and like fluttery right now. And I don't know, I feel like they look really pretty. They never look this good like when I'm going to work or going somewhere important, and I feel like this is illegal. But anyway, here's the finished look. I feel like it's a really sexy, smoky halo eye. I really love how it turned out. Honestly, I feel kind of hot in this look. I feel like I'm gonna have to recreate this for like a date night or my next girls' night. I don't know, I feel like I always get a little excited when I do like a smoky look, especially with like the shape I did today. I feel like it's a good look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Anyway, why don't I stop talking about how pretty I am and just show you what's on my face. But I'm using the Perfectionist lip pencil from Melt, and it's in the shade Cinnamon. And over top of that, I'm using my new lipstick from Merit. One of my longtime Instagram friends actually told me how to pronounce this lipstick. I have absolutely forgotten what she said, but I'm pretty sure I initially pronounced it as like Antibes, and I think she said it was more like Antibes, maybe. But anyway, I'm using this lipstick and I feel like it goes with the look perfectly. And then for the waterline, I just copied the kind of halo effect. So I'm using the shade Lucky from Urban Decay on the outer and inner part. And then I'm just using this peachy liner on the very center. And then on my lashes, I just went in with about 400 layers of this really expired mascara from Marc Jacobs, and I think it did a beautiful job. So here is one last little close-up of the look. I am a little bit disappointed that I don't have any plans, but at least the look will make it to the internet, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope I've inspired you to show your Modern Ren a little bit of love this season, or any of your older palettes really. And let's wrap up the video. So as usual, I would love to know what you think. I'd love to know which look was your favorite. I'd love to know if you still have any or all of these palettes. And if you do, I encourage you to pull them out and show them some love. Thank you again for spending your time with me watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!